It is so remarkable. Hey, Speaker Pelosi, let's for final question, let's move beyond the pandemic and talk about some big news that I think got overlooked yesterday, perhaps. You talked earlier about a unanimous vote. There was another unanimous vote that we learned about yesterday. I'm reading from the New York Times. On Tuesday, a long-awaited Senate review led by members of Mr. Trump's own party effectively undercut his allegations against the intel community. Remember, he called them scum earlier this week. A 3-year review by Republican-led Senate Intel Committee unanimously found the intel community assessment pinning blame on Russia and outlining its goals to undercut American democracy was fundamentally sound and untainted by politics, which the president and his allies have been saying for years now. And this is what the Republican-led Intel Committee in the Senate concluded. The committee found no reason to dispute the intelligence community's conclusions. Big news that undercuts so much of what the President of the United States said about our intel community, calling them, again, scum earlier this week, which is just shocking. It's something that you would expect from Vladimir Putin instead of the President of the United States calling members of the FBI scum. But a Republican-led intel community unanimously said that they got it right in this investigation. What's your reaction?
Well, I'm not surprised. As a member of the Gang of Eight, I watched this whole investigation proceed and the rest. And it leads you to the question, what does Vladimir Putin have on President Trump, personally, politically, financially, in any way, that he would choose Putin's word, what Putin said, over the intelligence community, and that he would give any currency to a charge that it was the people in the Ukraine who had conducted this to divert any culpability away from the Russians. Something is very wrong there. But this was, again, gives you hope and faith that with the facts and respect for the intelligence that was gathered on it cannot be denied. No matter what the president says, it cannot be denied. But it takes us to the next step. They've also told us 24/7 the Russians are still at work trying to undermine our election. That's why we have to have an important chunk of money in this next bill that will enable us to have protect the integrity of our elections, as well as enable the American people to vote by mail, especially at this time of a health danger in going to the polls, as well as, again, just shining a bright light on what they are trying to do to play with people's minds, as well as tinker or worse with our critical infrastructure, which is our elections. This is the lifeblood of our democracy, the vote. And so we are trying to protect the lives of the American people, the livelihoods of the American people, and also the life of our democracy. And that's what we're going to do in this next bill as well. But this is shameful, and it really gives lie to what the president has said. We must start to insist on the truth with the president. This is what the conclusion I came to on Easter Sunday. I was saying other people are being political. They're not speaking out strongly enough. And then I realized maybe I'm not either. I don't want to be political. We want to do this in a unified way. Every bill bipartisan. But the fact is, if the president refuses to accept evidence, data, truth, and the rest, we must insist on the truth, because that is the path, whether it's about testing, which he doesn't want to test because he doesn't want to know the numbers probably, or he just doesn't accept the science of it, but testing in the fullness of it all, contact tracing, isolation, and of course treatment and prevention as well. We know the path. And now we have to recognize that there's another path. If we have, and when we have, and God willing it will be soon, a vaccine or a cure, we're going to have a plan. Proper preparation prevents poor performance. A plan for how it is distributed to the American people, so it is done so in a way that is fair.
Speaker Nancy Pelosi, thank you so much for being on this morning. Thank you.
My pleasure. Thank you.
And
happy Earth Day.
Thank you.
Thanks for checking out MSNBC on YouTube, and make sure you subscribe to stay up to date on the day's biggest stories. And you can click on any of the videos around us to watch more from Morning Joe and MSNBC. Thanks so much for watching.